Bah, 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 bah. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Mogis, God of Metal. Hope you're ready to jump in that mosh pit and thrash around. As far as opening hand goes, I'm going to keep on this one. I like it. We have Chandra, we have 3 lands, we have Gilded Lotus, Fleshbag. This is everything you want for a good metal show. So, let's go and lead off with Luxury Suite. We're going to pass the turn to our opponent. We're playing Mogis, God of Metal. Get those fingers up, man. Indestructible Devotion 7 turns into a creature. Then, at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, that player... Mogis deals 2 damage to that player unless they sacrifice a creature. Opponent will get down Mana Vault, so we'll be looking at a pretty quick Freyalise. So, that'll definitely be online pretty quick. Let's go and get down Arid Mesa. Yeah, I like that. And then anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. We're playing against Freyalise, Lana War's Fury. +2, create a 1/1 1/1 green elf druid creature token with add mana to your mana pool. Then for a -2, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Then for a -6, draw a card for each green creature that you control. Pretty much everything that you want to be doing in mono green deck is get down a mana dork and and then just destroy artifacts and enchantments and draw a card for each green creature that you control. Pretty much it. Let's go and crack Arid Mesa. And let's go ahead and grab, I think at this point right now, Cadence Low. Yeah, enter the battlefield tap. That'll work. And then we'll be good to go. And let's see, do we want to go for Sword Point Diplomacy? Yeah, let's go for that. Let's get some of this. Let's point the sword at our opponent. Let's go for Sword Point. It's going to be 1/2. Reveal the top 3 cards of our library and then see if they want to put them into our hand or not. If not, they're going to have to pay 3 life. Okay, so they did pay 3 life to keep the Grim Tutor out, but we did get 2 swamps in the hands, which I definitely will take. And then anything else is going to pass the turn to our opponent. But yes, welcome to Mogis, God of Metal. If you haven't seen this deck before, what are we doing? It's kind of evolved over time. It used to be kind of like a Punisher deck, but as I kept playing it and recording with it, the Punisher option was just not that good. I mean, it was good. It ended up with some interesting board states, but it just wouldn't be that much pressure on your opponent. So we ended up just kind of, Guy's Cradle. That's definitely all the lands you do not want to see with Freyalise. It's a bummer. But yeah, so it's kind of turned into this red-black Planeswalker deck almost in a way. Just kind of, I don't know, some of that other stuff was, well, you don't have a creature, you can't tap that. Some of the Punisher enchantments, they were nice, but I found that they were just really dead in your hand a lot of the time, so... Let's go and get down Dragon Skull Summit, and yeah, let's go and go for some pressure on our opponent. I like that. Let's get down Mogis. Let's get the metal show going. Let's see if they can get down some sort of creature. So we get down Mogis. This is going to put some pressure on our opponent. They're going to at least get that 2 damage going across. And then next turn, we can worry about getting down Ashenmoor Liege. That will only give us, unfortunately, 5 total devotion. But once we do get down Chandra, then we can start to get some of those elementals and really kind of get this concert going. But yeah, started out as Punisher. Now it's just kind of settled into this red-black Planeswalker deck or big mana deck to where we can get down these Planeswalkers. If we hit a lot of artifacts, then we can... use stuff like Exsanguinate and Rakdos Return, Torment of Hellfire to really put some pressure on our opponent. And Torment of Hellfire's non-land permanents, I will remember that this turn. So, that's one of the funny things about Magic is that if you get something... So here's how I can miss Torment of Hellfire. It's like when I'm recording... Like, I just scan a card really quick, like Fleshbag, sack a creature. Okay, I don't read the entire card. I just have to look at it and just very quickly decipher what that card is trying to tell me what they can and cannot do. Now, that also, think about it, there's tons of cards in Commander, so I try to remember every single card that I can, but there's just sometimes to where when I scan a card really quick, like with Ashenmoor Liege, it's just +1/+1. Okay, got it. But then I'll forget about the other second ability. That player loses 4 life because I'm just trying to read it quickly and give good commentary. So if there's ever a line of play where you're like, why did that happen? That's why I just scan the card really, really quick. Ooh, draw to Omnixilis. I think I like that. We could get down Gilded Lotus, but I want to get some card draw going. Let's go. Omnixilis, he's got some sick baselines. And we'll wait for our opponents to kind of sort out some of their mana problems. They've got some good stuff going on over there, but they've just got all the wrong lands, so... We'll just sit back and keep drawing some cards. So we're going to draw a card and lose a life, and then we'll worry about getting some other stuff. Drawn to Badlands. Okay, we'll kick it back over there. And while we have Obnixilis on the battlefield, I'm going to talk about him. He has quickly become one of my favorite commanders as of late, just because I don't know, I love him. Every time you get him down, the +1 draw card. So once you do get that card advantage, you get him down for 3. That puts it perfectly into the -3 destroy target creature, and you can use it again if you need to. And then if you get into this weird scenario to where you have these really long drawn out games, you can still go for that -8 that target opponent. Whenever a player draws a card, they lose 2 life. So it gives you some sort of option to go for. Opponent's going to go for Reclamation Sage. They can destroy Mogis, but hey, he's been around for a minute. He can get past that. So basically, they just need to get Guy's Cradle online so they can start getting some stuff going with that mana. So if we want to, actually, we can go for Fleshbag Marauder. That's going to get rid of Reclamation Sage, and that'll turn off Guy's Cradle, which I think I do like doing that. We'll see what our opponent gets down, but yeah, I definitely want to keep them off of that because they have all the mana in the world, but if they can't get that second green mana down for Freyalise, then we're in a pretty good position. So yeah, I like doing that. Drawn a Sad Robot. Let's go and plus up on Obnixilis, draw a card, lose a life. Drawn to Mana Confluence, and we get down Gilded Lotus. It's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fleshbag. Yeah, let's get down Gilded Lotus. I like that. That'll put us online for Fleshbag Marauder. It'll kind of open us up on mana. That way, if we do draw into one of our big dump spells, we can kind of put some pressure on our opponent. Let's go for Fleshbag. It's going to be 1, 2, 3. Triple black. Fleshbag, he's the security for the mosh pit. He makes sure that, we'll sacrifice Fleshbag, and our opponent's going to sacrifice Reclamation Sage. Let's go and get down Badlands, and then we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. At this point right now, we're fine. We're just sitting back, drawing cards. Once we get down Chandra, we can get those elementals going. We'll get that down next turn, and we'll be in a pretty good position to be putting some pressure on our opponent. So, but yeah, Fleshbag, he is the official security for the mosh pit. So if you act up in the mosh pit, he'll say, hey, come on, you got to get out of here, buddy. And unfortunately, Reclamation Sage was acting up in the mosh pit. Now, I'm not actually a huge fan of metal. My experience with metal is basically kind of like Metallica. That's about it. I listened to a lot of Metallica in high school. I haven't listened to them in a long time because it's not that I've outgrown it. It's just I don't enjoy it as much. If I'm going to be, recording, editing, last thing I want to do is listen to Metallica because this can just get me really worked up. And so I like a little bit more softer music, but I really enjoy Metallica. I've seen them twice, actually. Oh, look at this. Our opponent's like my kingdom for a green mana source. I'm loving this. I'm loving it not because of our opponent, but I'm loving it because all the times I've played against mono green where I get Eldrazi'd out and they just can't get anything going. So it makes me happy, puts a smile on my face. All right, so we draw into No Mercy, and then I'll finish that Metallica statement here in a second. Let's go and get down Swamp for the turn. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 total mana, which will put us online for Sad Robot and going for Chandra. Yeah, let's go and go for that. I mean, technically, if we wanted to, we could get down Ashen. Yeah, that might be a little bit better line of play to go for. Let's go triple red. Let's get down Chandra. That'll make her happy. Let's go for Ashen Liege. This will be a real good chunk of damage on our opponent. I like this. I like it a lot. That's going to turn on Devotion for Mogis. So it's going to give, and then we'll go for the +1. Create those 2 elemental tokens, and that'll make them 4 2s, which is going to be a really good chunk. Oh, look at that. That is beautiful. All right, so it's going to be 9. That's going to be a 13, 17 coming across, putting our opponent down to 3. There we go. Swing across on this. It's going to knock them down. If something does happen to Ashen, that's going to get rid of Devotion, but we're knock our opponent down to 3, and that puts them in a really big, kind of a weird position, especially with that 2 damage and then Mana Vault. They're definitely going to have to pay for that Mana Vault now, or they'll take that 1 during their upkeep, which looks like they're just going to go and go for that 1 damage being dealt to them because they couldn't hit that green source. So unfortunately, our opponent wasn't able to get their second green source to get down Freyalise. So I'm going to go and post this video up because you definitely see they did get really, really unlucky with like Dust Bowl and different things like that. But we got I'll finish my Metallica talk. That way we can I'll post this video up. So yeah, so I've seen Metallica twice in concert when I was in high school, and I've always enjoyed it. And but when I went to college, one of my buddies in class, he was in a metal band. So he's like, hey man, I'm going to be playing this weekend. If you want to go see it, I was like, yeah, okay, I'll go. So he played at one of the local bars in Denton, my college town, and Denton, Texas. And yeah, it was fun. It was interesting. It's just metal is just so theatrical. It's so, especially the way they do it. Like he's telling me all the time about how he got, oh man, we got a new laser light for the show. We got this new thing for the show. I mean, it's just like they really care about the theatrics. So if you haven't seen any local metal bands, highly suggest go see them. They always make for an interesting show. But good game to our opponent. Unfortunately, they weren't able to get that green mana. But we did keep them off Guy's Cradle from getting down a Freyalise. So either way, we were in a pretty good position. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye. Bum, 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 bum. Welcome to Mogis, God of Metal. Hope you enjoyed that sick bass line right there. As far as opening hand goes, we've got, man, yeah, I'm not wild about that. Just a 6-mana Planeswalker. Yeah, we'll keep on this one. It's a little clunky. Yeah, that's a lot clunky. That's really painful for us, especially with that mana confluence. Do we want to go one more go? Mana Barbs and Vortex is nice. Yeah, let's go one more mulligan. Okay, we'll keep on this one. I like this a little bit better. Yeah, that was just, man, it's almost, oh, we'll put that on top in a heartbeat. I like that. Let's go ahead and get down, get Ruins, and then we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. Hey. But yes, welcome to Mogis Metal Show. Our opponent said they've seen the channel, so it's always fun to get to play people in the tournament, not tournament practice room, the commander room. It's always fun. Always enjoy that. But yes, I like our hand a lot better. On that other hand, it would have been nice to get that down, but unfortunately, sometimes that Sulfuric Vortex and Mana Barbs is fun, but leads to some pretty clunky opening hands sometimes. Let's go and get down Swamp. Let's go and get down Soul Ring. And then anything else, we're going to pass the turn to our opponent. We're playing Mogis, God of Slaughter. Indestructible Devotion 7 turns into a creature. Then, at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, Mogis deals 2 damage to that player unless they sacrifice a creature. Hope you're ready to jump in the mosh pit. Shu Yun. Playing against Shu Yun, the Silent Tempest. I imagine Shu Yun, out of all the opposing commanders, he would probably be really good in a mosh pit. I would bet that. I'd put some good money on that. Let's go 1, 2, 3. Let's get down Portal. Yeah, man. I mean, somebody who's double striking martial arts, yeah, I wouldn't mess with them. Let's go and get on Ancient Tomb, and then, okay, let's say they might have a counterspell. We'll get down Ancient Tomb, and then we'll go and pass the turn to our opponent. That was actually a beautiful draw getting down Portal, because it's going to allow us to get some pretty good card draw. We're playing against Shu Yun. Prowess, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you may pay 2 mana. If you do, target creature gains double strike until end of turn. And I need to build Shu Yun because I've been playing against it recently, and it always makes for a pretty fun match. So let's enjoy that. I was going to get that crossed off, and then we've actually got a pretty good chunk of mana at this point right now. It's going to be 4, so we can really attack our opponent's hand. We need to choose, I think Homage gets... Yeah, we need to vote for Homage. That way we can get that card draw. I always want to make sure I don't want to vote for the wrong thing and just like blow up Shu Yun in my Soul Ring. So we're going to vote for Homage. That way we get the card draw. Draw into Catacombs, and then draw into Mana Confluence. Let's go and get down Catacombs. Yeah, we need to... Attacking Shu Yun, I think we need to... Because that's going to be 1, 2. That's going to be 5. Yeah, we need to drag this game down. Sorry to our opponent. They said they're a fan of the channel. I'm going to just pop him in the face with a Rakdos Return really quick. But really, against Shu Yun, we don't really have any spot removal. This is kind of our only way to really put some pressure on our opponent. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go for Rakdos Return. And that'll be 5. So that'll still leave him 2 cards in the hand. But... it's kind of what we got to do at this point right now. Shu Yun can be pretty gnarly with some prowess and some double strike. Sorry about that. Don't feel good, but you got to do it sometimes. That's what always makes it kind of, when you go for some of these heavy discard spells. We got off to some pretty quick mana, so kind of makes this line of play a little bit easier. But even then, they've got 7 cards in the hand, and you know, they lost a few mountains, lost a few of their land drops, so we can still make this work. We are looking at getting down Mogis. Unfortunately, we're really far away from Devotion. We can get down Mogis and get down Painful Quandary, and then hopefully we can get some pretty good stuff going on our side of the board, get that Devotion going. That'll allow us to at least kind of chump block on Shu Yun as he just tears up the mosh pit. I don't know, I can't get past that mental image. But pre-release, so I went to the pre-release this past weekend. If you did not see my video, there's a video if you want to see my deck. Ended up building Sultai Spider Cats, which was a lot of fun. And because basically I opened up my card pool and it was just really like blah. Like my... Not that you always have to go by your rares, but, you know, your rares give you the best option. So I did pick Golgari, and my my Golgari option, my Golgari promo card was Hatchery Spider, which I was like, okay. And so then I opened up my next pack, and like my standard pack, and my rare was Hatchery Spider. I was like, okay. And then I'm going through my packs, and I've got 3 of the generous stray cats. I'm like, oh, okay, so we've got spider cats. So I guess the game plan was just to fill up the graveyard. And does he have double strike? Looking at 10, that is Scribe 1. I think, yeah, that's, you can see how gnarly they can get pretty good. Look how quickly we attacked our opponent hand for 7 cards, and look at that. That is, wow, that is nice. I think they do have double strike. Let's see. I was looking at my pre-release deck. I think they, yeah, okay, that's only 10. All right, so that's not too bad. That was still a pretty good chunk of damage. Let's go ahead and choose, either way they're going to be able to split the vote up, so we're still going to choose card draw because hopefully we can get some spot removal. But yeah, it was Sultai Cats, it was Hatchery Spider and the Generous Stray, Sword Point Diplomacy, and then Blood Gift Demon. Okay, so target player draws a card and loses 1 life. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 once we get down Mana Confluence. Yeah, let's go for that. It's going to be a pretty good chunk of damage on us, though. Yeah, let's go and get down Blood Gift Demon. That's going to be 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and we don't necessarily have to go for... We'll see if we want to go for Sword Point Diplomacy, because it's going to be 3 damage for Sword Point. And I guess if we're putting some pressure on our opponent, they've only got Aqueous Form. Can't be blocked. And is there a rebound? Target creature gets +1/+0, so they can give it double strike. Yeah, we need to dig. So either way, if they're going to get commander damage, they're going to get it. We need to go for Sword Point Diplomacy. Get that going. Sword Point, so we're going to reveal the top 3 cards of our library, see if we can put it into our hand. And then, yeah, that's actually not too bad. So at least it'll kind of get, maybe they'll get rid of Night's Whisper. I can see them giving us Night's Whisper and then Bajuka Bog and then paying the 3 life on Damnation. But we'll see if they get going off of that. But yeah, it was Sultai Spiders. So the game plan was to fill up the graveyard with Surveil, and then or use Undergrowth and different things like that, and cast Hatchery Spider, and then bring the cats out from the deck and draw some cards. But it was a lot of fun. I ended up going 1 and 3, and unfortunately, I played against Boros twice during the day, and the Sultai deck I built was just really slow, and I mean, not slow and like, you know, but it's just more of a control. It's just more of a mid-range deck, and you've got Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so let's see what this is going to be. I don't mind Wheel of Fortune. But yeah, so it was a little bit more of a mid-range deck. So when I played against Boros twice, I ended up losing both of those matches. And my other 2 matches ended up actually being against Sultai mirror matches, essentially. One was against a Sultai red deck, and then we went to game 3 on that, and my opponent won. And then my last match of the day was literally just almost the same matchup, the same Sultai style deck, and we went to game 3 with that. So between the Boros matches, it was okay. They won pretty quick, but with the Sultai matches, it was a lot of fun because there's a lot of back and forth, and it was just some really rewarding Magic experience where it was just, you know, just felt like chess. It was just a lot of back and forth and some really fun. All right, so we have Shu Yun swinging across. That's going to knock us down to 14 commander damage, and then they also put us down to 10. But thankfully, yeah, we're going to go and draw a card off of this one, and let's go and choose Portal. So at this point right now, we're just hoping for some sort of card draw, or excuse me, some sort of spot removal. We can go for Read the Bones if we wanted to, but that's going to get our life total down pretty low. And then we draw in the Temple of Malice. Okay. And the Ashen Liege. All right. So that is exactly not what we wanted to see. So if we end up going for Torment of Hellfire, which is non-land permanents, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 7. That's going to be them attacking their hand. That would at least force them to discard some of their stuff. But I think that's going to give us the best option going forward. We could try to Temple of Malice to scry something. Yeah, let's do it like this. Let's go and swing in with Blood Gift Demon, since they can't block. That way we hit our opponent for 5. Put him down to 17. And then let's go ahead and get down Mountain. And let's go for Torment of Hellfire. I think it's our best bet, because that's going to attack their hand again. Okay, so we're going to Torment for 7. That does put us down to 6, so basically any sort of spell next turn will shoot. Either way, we didn't hit any sort of spot removal, unfortunately, between Course of Portal and Blood Gift Demon. So at this point right now, we're going to force some of the the Torment of Hellfire stuff. At least try to get them down as low as possible. They put, oh, the opponent's going to go down to -1, so I guess that will get it. Or maybe they didn't mean to do that. I'm not sure. I figured they would have discarded a few more stuff out of the... Their opponent sent us a message. Okay, I guess that will get it done. There we go. Got Torment of Hellfire. So that will take it. All right, so Torment of Hellfire is going to get it. I guess let's put enough pressure on our opponent. Unfortunately, that earlier Rakdos return really kind of constrained some of their mana. So that Torment of Hellfire will get it done. Sorry to our opponent for going for that Rakdos return. This is one of those, I don't like doing hand disruption stuff like that sometimes, especially in Commander, but when you're playing against Shu Yun, you can see how potent it can be sometimes, and so attacking their hand early on was the only way we could really kind of get anything going. So anyway, Bloodgift Demon got there. Unfortunately, we didn't get down Mogis, but got some pretty good pressure on our opponent and did what the deck was designed to do, and that was kind of tap out for some pretty big X spells. So anyways, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.